Hey guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Victory Fashion Up with Victoria Yetunde. How are you all doing? Hope you're fine. Thank you so much. If you're new here, you're welcome to the family. And returning subscriber, you know I love you guys so much. You're welcome back. Thank you for watching my video. So on today's tutorial, and if you have watched it, you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. On today's tutorial, as you can see in the first video, that is the crop top we are going to be doing today. So the first thing that we're going to do is measure the length we want to use, and for me, I'm going to be using 19 inches with 1 inches allowance. That is what I'm actually doing right here right now. So I'm going to measure it 20 inches. Sorry, I'm so sorry. 20 inches for me. You can use 14 inches, you can use 17, depends on what you want. After that, you're going to measure 1 inches down, just the way I'm doing right now, 1 inches, and you use your straight ruler to straight it out. So the next thing is shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 16, but I'm going to be adding 4 inches to it. That makes it 10 divided by 2, and that is 20 divided by 2, that is 10. So from there, you go down by 3 inches, just the way you just did. Then from that 1 inches you draw your line to the 3 inches. I'm so sorry guys. So you draw your line to the 3 inches that I just did. I would advise you use office pin to hold your dress, so you not face what I'm facing right now. So from that 3 inches, you go down for your shoulder measurement, your armhole measurement, 7 inches, just what I do. So you mark the 10 inches of your shoulder measurement if yours is 10. So you mark it out and draw a straight line to meet the 7 inches I chalked out that time, just the way I'm doing it right now. Then after that, I'm going to do the length measurement again. I'm going to be coming up by 1 inches, then do the 20 measurement again, just the way you see it right now. So I'm going to do the 20 measurements again and draw the chalk out. Yeah, I hope you understand what I'm trying to do. After that, you measure your bust measurements. My bust is 40, and I added 8 inches to it because I want it to be free. So that's 48 divided by 4, and that is it. For this dress, you don't have to use your waist measurement. The measurement you use for your bust is what you are going to draw down to your waist. Yes, you don't need your waist measurements. Then we are going to cut it out right now, just the way you're seeing it. And if you have not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Then you split it into 2, just the way I did. This is the front. So we are going to cut out the back. The back, you make sure you put the 1 inches in, or you just bring it out just the way I did mine. Then you first of all cut out the first slope. This is the back that we are cutting right now. The first one is the front. Then you now drag your front down. You drag it down by 3 inches. Your back has to, normal this thing we usually used to go up by 2 inches in him, just like the front that we go up by 3 inches. Normally we go down by 1 inches for the slope, but for this we go down by 3 inches. So that 3 inches, we are going to be putting it back from the back. I don't know if I make sense. So we are going to be doing that 3 inches just the way I'm doing. So I've got the 3 inches. I'm going to be cutting it out now. The way I cut out this back, I want you to see the way I cut out. As you can see, I fold it in, then I cut it out, just the way I did. So the next thing right now, we are going to be cutting the neckline for the front first before the back. So for my front, I'm going to be using 3 by 3 inches. Actually, you can use 2.5 by 3, anyone you want to use. Just make sure it's what is gonna be okay for you. So for me, it's 3 by 3, and I use hand method. You can use your I'm using freehand method. You can use your curve ruler to curve your 3x3. So after that, I cut it out just the way I see it. Then for the back, to cut out the neckline of the back, you can see the way I curve. I bring the back to the front, and I use it to cover the front a little bit, like ½ inch. So then I don't know that my hand was curving this neck that I'm actually doing, but I hope I actually pulled my hand out. You are not going to cut the back like that, like you just curve your hand. Just look at the way I cut out my back neck. I hope you understand. So the next thing right now is cutting out the sleeve. For the sleeve, I just use my freehand method. For this sleeve, I didn't really do much measurements in this sleeve. I just use my freehand method. I know I use length of 11 inches, and I use my freehand method. Then the next thing, to get my measurement for the round measurement, I actually measured my upper part of my sleeve and divided by 2. I had 1 inches for allowance. Then I did the middle part, and I did the down part where I want the sleeve to reach. That's how I get this. But mostly for this sleeve, I use freehand method to do everything. That's what I did for the sleeve. And yeah, as you can see, I'm managing this fabric, so I just have to cut one first, then later I'm going to be using this one to cut out the second sleeve. That's what I'm going to be doing right now. So I'm going to be using this to cut out the second sleeve. And if you are still watching till now, my returning subscriber, I love you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. So right now we are going to the sewing part, and we are going to be sewing. This is the back. This is how your back is going to look when you cut finish. So we are going to be sewing right side facing each other, just the way I'm doing. Right side facing each other for one side, you sew it. Right side facing each other for the other side, you sew it down, just like this. So after that, we are done cutting. I'm done joining. You know that 1 inches we first of all cut out in the front, then you cut it, you notch it down here. You notch it down. Yes, that is what I did right now. Then after that, you are going to measure from that notching that we just did. You measure to the other neck of the notch to get your neck line for the collar. So after that, for the neckline, for the front, we are going to be cutting out the front and the front covering. You know, the front look like something. You have to have the fabric inside. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Just check out the way I draw it. And this neckline, I didn't draw it to the back. It stopped at the front. Then I measured 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches. Then when it gets to the neckline, I make it to, I think I did 4 inches in the neckline. You can see what I'm trying to say. I want to cover up the collar is actually something that is going to open the main fabric, so your fabric has to be inside. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say right here. So this is it. The next thing is we are going to turn it. We are going to sew it inward, just like this. You sew it inward to the side that is not the neck side. I hope you understand. That is not the neck side. You sew it in the side, just like that. And after that, after you sew it, you are going to join it to the front part. I'm still going to show you guys how you are going to join it to the front part. So you sew it and stop stitches. Jesus. So I'm done sewing right now. Then I'm going to be joining it to the both side of the front, as you know. Then you join, just sew it. just sew it downward just like that and stitch it down to the right side. You see, I'm done with it. I'm done actually. So after this, I'm going to be, from that sewing I did, you are going to take out 2 inches for the lap. I don't know how to say this, but for the lap that is going to show to people, that is going to show the collar, this thing, you measure from that sewing, from this sewing, you measure 2 inches. You see the way because first one measure 2 inches, just the way I did. After the 2 inches, you now measure from that 2 inches to the other 2 inches for your collar. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. You measure, this one is 16.5, so 16.5 for me. As you can see, I've already chopped it for you guys today. So for the collar, I'm going to be, you fold your fabric into 2 first, then you now fold it again. That makes it 4 inches. So for this collar, I'm going to be adding half inches to it. That makes it 17. You know, it was 16.5, then I'll divide it by 2. I added half inches, then I divided by 2. That makes it 8.5. Then I draw it, I chalk this down, 8.5. Then for this side, I'm going to, I first of all go by 3.5, but later on I went by 3. Then this side I went by 3, but later on I changed it to 3. As you can see, I changed it to 3, and this side I changed it to 2.5. Then you join it. You use your curve ruler to join it, to give you just a curve this thing. I couldn't get the curve ruler well, but so after that, I'm going to be joining a stay inside. You can use a stay, you can use normal stay, any stay you want. That is it. I'm done ironing it. Then you turn it into 2, just the way I'm doing right now, and sew the edge, and sew the other edge too. So that is it. Then I'm done joining. Then I turn it and I iron and get the midpoint of the collar. After that, I fold the back into 2 and get the notch in the middle. Then I'm going to fold it just the way I'm using the pin to hold it inside, just the way you are seeing. So for the collar I did in the front, so I'm going to be placing it, turning it just the way I'm doing it. I hope you can get it. You turn it to the collar, like this, just the way I'm doing right now. So when you get to the edge, where you want it to stop, you notch it, you notch the collar out. So I'm so sorry, I didn't know the video was not even showing. I was not showing it very well. So I'm going to do the same thing to the side. So I'm done doing the other side too. So I'm going to sew. I went to sew it. You can see the way it turned out to be. So I'm going to notch the inside, so I will turn the collar in, then I'll sew it. So after that, I give it a good press to you bring what shape you want it to bring. The shape you want it to bring out, it's going to. So that is what I did. So I'm done ironing the shape. As you can see, it's so beautiful. It's already giving the shape of the collar I wanted. So after that, I'm going to make sure the front is the same with the neckline, the shoulder of the back, and notch the midpoint. Yes, and notch the midpoint of this. You notch the midpoint just like this. Then now is for the sleeve. You go and sew the sleeve in the down part. You sew the sleeve in the down part just the way I did, and I did the same thing to the second side too, and give it iron. You iron it, give it a good press. Then after that, we are going to be joining it to the fabric. Now, you know, the one with place we notch, you sew it to the other side and sew it to the other side, then you turn it and sew the shoulder. So I'm done actually. So after that, I'm done and I've joined the side. Then I'll go and join the down part. We are done actually. As you can see, this is done. I'll give it a good press. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and if you're not, I don't know what you're waiting for. See you on my next video.